Hello and welcome to a very special episode on the Total Space Network. I'm Mikko, the host of Deep Dive. Today we are chatting with Jeromy Grimmett, the CEO and the founder of Rogue Space. Founded in 2020, the company specializes in designing satellite vehicles and subsystems to provide on-orbit services to satellite operators. They are currently developing orbital robots or Orbots to service satellites. And also joining for today's interview is...
Hi, I'm another space nut. General furniture at Total Space. I tend to hang around a lot. Thanks for being with us today, Jeromy.
Hey, you guys are more than welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming to our show. How are you today?
Right now, it's hot. But outside of that, we're doing fantastic.
And yeah, let's get started with the questions.
Sure.
Would you tell a bit about your career and how did you end up starting Rogue Space?
Well, it really started off as far as I'm concerned, I'm a technologist by trade. And it started off as a research paper from school. And one of the things that I found during research on that paper was that there were 300,000 potential debris strikes cataloged in 2017, I think, by the U.S. government. And that statistic really stayed with me. So I was thinking about it on and over several months. And I was saying to myself, well, surely somebody's got to be doing something about that. And come to find out, not really. So we ended up doing a lot of research and forming up the company, getting some founders to come along with me. And eventually you got Rogue Space Systems. Now, to start off with, we didn't get very much traction with debris because nobody's paying to remove debris. Nobody's really doing anything about it. And you can't have a business without a market, right? You can't be in business without having somebody to pay your bills and have customers. So with that being said, we decided to do orbital services, transport, robotic assistance, which is in parallel to space debris. So that whenever the market did mature for space debris, we'd be able to go and deliver those services.
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, these days it's becoming more easier to get the customers you need because there's a lot more satellites being launched with the constellations and yeah.
There's a lot more traffic out in low Earth orbit now, and some of the higher inclinations, some of the sun synchronous orbits, they're getting very, very crowded. There's a lot of conjunctions that take place, and so the market, I think, is maturing. And recently, the Space Force, General Thompson of Space Force, actually came out with a quote in Space News saying, "Hey, we're willing to pay commercial companies to deal with space debris." So that kind of set off a bit of establishing a market, and yeah, we'll see what happens. We're looking forward to the next few months and see how things go with that.
And would you say that announcement has almost created a new gold rush for space debris?
I wouldn't say it's created a new gold rush. What I would say is that someone has finally thrown a stake in the ground and said, okay, this is a problem that needs to be deal with it, that needs to be dealt with. And we're going to go and deal with what we can deal with. I think that's really what the Space Force is saying. It's like, look, this is in our best interest. This is in national security interest that we have the capability to deal with these types of problems. So we're going to go and deal with that problem, and we're willing to pay somebody to do it. I wouldn't call it a gold rush because one of the cool things about what we're doing at Rogue is that there are no rules yet. There's no established market price. No one knows really how to price any of this stuff. So part of what we're doing here at Rogue is developing that knowledge and developing those pricing structures and mechanisms. So there's a lot of room for innovation, not just in the technology, but as well as for the market and the maturity of pricing and strategy. So it's all really, really interesting stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'm not sure if NASA has any orbital debris missions going on, but at least European Space Agency has a couple of space debris cleanup missions coming up sooner or later.
Yeah, the Clear Space is doing a mission. I want to say their mission is like $105 million or 105 million euros, something like that. And that's to clean up a 112 kilogram payload ring. And that's some sweet money right there, buddy. I mean, that's good stuff.
So
I wish I was a European company.
Is the technology you're developing capable enough to deploy at short notice? Say, for instance, we've got Black Arrow in the UK. They're targeting launch readiness fairly quickly and versatile via launch platforms. You know, we've seen this new commercialization of low Earth orbit where we're seeing more and more launches every year. Would you say it's a rapidly deployable system you guys are creating? Is it capable of, you know, if there was, say, a week's notice on a collision with something we didn't want that was potentially going to cause the Kessler effect, could you guys, at full production, meet that kind of challenge where you could have something launch ready in a week?
Oh, absolutely. That's actually part of our overall strategy. And that's why it's really cool having partners and having access to launch vehicles like a Virgin Orbital. I was just visiting there last week. I just got a tour of their factory. It was amazing. But you know, Virgin Orbital is a fantastic provider of launch services. And the beautiful part of them is they load their stuff up on an airplane, strap the rocket to the wing, fly to whatever inclination that you need to go to, and boom, you're there. I mean, that's incredible. That's awesome.
Fingers crossed they should be launching tomorrow. I know that.
Yeah, that's right.
As of this recording, it'll have already happened by the time this is released, but I'm excited for the launch tomorrow. I've got a friend in Mojave currently with
really?
the YouTube
That's
channel,
cool.
The Angry Astronaut, and he's just got loads of pictures and videos. It's really exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're very excited for everything that Virgin Orbital is doing, and you know, that's I think that's one of your British compatriots right there, Richard Branson. You know, that's I mean, they're doing some really amazing stuff, and we're happy to partner with them and try to, you know, take advantage of their capability. But yeah, once we're in full production, once we have the types of contracts that are needed to be in place, then absolutely yes, we would be able to, within, the goal is within hours. The goal is within, you know, just a few days, be able to get something on station and to deal with that type of problem. That's kind of the whole point in what we're doing. Rapidly develop, highly agile, highly dynamic, extraordinarily capable systems that can go and deliver mission and have multi-application support across the domain. So that's the mission. That's what we're on. That's what we're going after.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk about your products. You have few different orbital robots coming up. I think I saw 3 different kinds of robots.
Yes. So we've got 3 different Orbots right now. We call them Orbots. It's Orbital Robot. And there's a distinction there because we view our systems as robot spacecraft. We really don't view them as satellites. They're technically, yes, they are satellites. However, with a satellite, you know exactly where you're going, exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're pointed at, exactly how long you got to be. I mean, you know so many of these very fine, minute details about your mission. Us, on the other hand, we don't know where we're going, what we're doing, what we got to do. We have no clue. So we have to design to that type of chaos. And what we realize very quickly is that there is no one single system solution to deal with all of it. It's not going to happen. It doesn't exist. It has to be an aggregation of multiple systems, multiple, even vendors and partners, and designs in order to accommodate satellite servicing, transport, space debris. I mean, there's so many different applications. We wanted to build something that was very agnostic and would be capable of delivering those types of solutions to the market versus just locking ourselves into this one thing. That's what we're doing and nothing else, you know. We wanted to make something that was flexible and could meet the market demand on those moments notice, like what you were just saying before. We can reconfigure it in situ. We can reprogram it right there in space. We can redirect it, fly it somewhere else. There's the possibilities of what Rogue's Orbots are capable of are just, they're endless. We have tons of applications that we hadn't even thought about. And that, I think that's one of the truly exciting things about what we're doing today.
The burning question I have, how involved are you guys going to be with the gravity ring as Orbital Assembly Corp progress forward?
Oh, yeah, that's true. We by the time this recording's out, our press release is going to be out there. So we've signed a letter of intent and setting up an MOU to deliver the observation services for the demonstration of their P-Star, which is going up in 2023. So our relationship with Orbital Assembly has just begun. There is an incredible amount of work that we have to do together, and there's a number of solutions that our Orbots are going to be able to deliver, not just to Orbital Assembly, but an ecosystem of vendors, an ecosystem of partners that are going to be involved in the building of that space station. So we're very familiar with it. We're really excited to be part of it, and I really cannot wait to, be sending back high resolution 3D images and high definition video of this thing getting put together. It's going to be amazing.
I look forward to it. I hope we can have you back at that moment and potentially do it live.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a much better answer than I was expecting. Wow, what a time to be alive with the commercialization of space coming to fruition over the next decade. It's incredible to see so many young startups like Rogue Space Systems developing solutions for a fast progressing world. Like, I was just saying a few days ago to the Total Space team that it seems like everything that I watched growing up as a child, all the sci-fi and
yeah, isn't it crazy?
It's just all of a sudden it's here. It's the future is now. We're looking at hypersonic transit and robots that build things on orbit. I mean, how cool is that? Rogue Space Systems are going to develop robots that not only clean up debris on orbit, but can perform as many versatile tasks as possible. That in itself is an amazing thought. 20 years ago, that was the stuff of sci-fi fantasy.
That's right. It's totally true. I think that if I were to, be a little more grandiose in what everything that I'm saying here, I really see Rogue as being the indispensable, quintessential, and essential interplanetary space infrastructure company that's going to support growth and development in the solar system throughout the 21st century. I don't see this as a small venture. I think that we're going to be a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar company in the coming years. That's what we're positioned to be. That's what we're positioning ourselves to do. We're not developing one single solution. We're not developing a single widget within a number of different components for a spacecraft. We're delivering a complete solution for the market, or a set of solutions for the market. And there's a big difference between delivering a widget and delivering a capability. And I pride myself in our engineering's brilliance. I mean, the team is just incredible, and they're coming up with the stuff that you would have imagined in Star Trek or have imagined in Star Wars, but they're making this stuff come to life, and it's amazing and just a real privilege to sit back and watch. Because I know I can't do it, but boy, them engineers sure can. I mean, it's amazing to see. It's all about that team.
Would it be a fair assessment to say that you're the Boston Dynamics of Orbots?
I don't know if we're the Boston Dynamics of Orbots. As a matter of fact, I try to be respectful of pretty much any industry and other companies and organizations, because Boston Dynamics really tore the roof off of robotics, right? And they are all their own. They have their own style, their own culture, and I hope that, and I'm trying to, with our team and my co-founders, we're trying to build a culture in a community that is our own, that we can take pride in, like Boston Dynamics has. That's what we want to do, and we don't want to be compared to Boston Dynamics or Northrop or Lockheed or anybody else. Whenever we want Rogue to stand alone, all on our own. It's not to say that it's not a privilege to kind of be placed into a comparison like that, because it is. That means a lot, genuinely. But I want to be fair to other companies that have worked really hard and really blazed the trail for organizations like ours. So I want Rogue to stand alone, and I don't want us to be the definition. I want us to be a standard.
Yeah.
That can be...
Good answer.
Yeah. That's kind of how I see it. I get a little long-winded, so forgive me.
No, I 100% agree. I think if you... Like I say about Total Space being... It stands out as being different. And, despite the fact that you can get the same kind of content on multiple platforms, doesn't mean that our show's any less than other shows. It stands out for its uniqueness, and so for Rogue to stand out for its uniqueness is definitely important. It's important of any company.
I believe that we're firm believers that space is for everyone, and we want everyone to be excited for space. We want everyone to be involved. We want everyone to make money at it. We want everyone to be excited about the wonder, the discovery, the challenges, and embrace the imagination and the childhood and the sci-fi. We want that for everyone, because that, to be able to do this and to play, so to speak, in this arena with titans of industry and titans of space like the ULA, like Lockheed, like Northrop Grumman, that's the stuff that, and NASA, of course NASA, that's the stuff that dreams are made of. That's the thing that kids sit back and whenever they see somebody with a NASA shirt, they automatically think, at least I used to, I wonder if they work for NASA. I wonder how they got that job. How do they do that? And our differentiator, I truly believe, is our community, because I don't view us as a company or a corporation. I view our business as a community of people that have come together to really do some amazing work and bring some amazing technology to the market. And that's what I try to impart. And that's what we are trying to build. And we invite, that's why we hit our crowdfunding, you know. We wanted to invite people in. And we wanted them to say, hey, come join us on this journey. Come be with us. Give us your ideas. Talk to us. Communicate with us. If your kid's interested in space, let's bring them over to the office. Let's talk to the engineers. Let's show them what we do. And that's stuff that we do and we participate in all the time. So we don't want to just simply talk about being a community. We actively participate and live in that mindset of being a community and inviting the people into our lives and into this organization to participate.
Fantastic.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Oh, thank you.
And yeah, I bet if any one of us comes over the ocean to the States, we could probably get a visit at Rogue.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll be
Yeah,
sure me and my little boy are coming to play with robots at some point in the future.
Oh, look, man, we got robots for days over here. But yeah, if you guys come over the pond and you want to you want to come in for a visit, let me know. We'll make sure and get you some barbecue. We'll get you some beers. We'll definitely show you a good time and show you what we're all about. So
Fantastic.
You guys are welcome anytime. And I don't mean that as a line. It's genuinely, if you guys ever want to come,
in
let us know.
post show notes, look at what it's going to cost to at least fly the two of us over there for barbecue and beer.
Yeah.
More than welcome. More than welcome.
Yeah, but circling back to the Orbots, what would be the first use cases you would use it? Probably maybe like transferring a satellite to another orbit could be pretty viable.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
maybe even moving that orbit for deorbiting some debris. But then as we go to more complex tasks, how about fueling up a satellite? How about fixing solar panels? How would that happen?
Listen, there's a multitude of applications that we can participate in. And what I'll explain to you is the way that we have designed and what our plan is. Our plan today, first, is observation and inspection. Those are, close proximity operations, observation, and inspection. Those are the key three things that you need to develop and hammer out in order to do anything else. So that is our first target, and we're hoping, right now we're scheduled to be up in orbit June, July next year, depending on launch slips, because launch slips happen, but we're looking to be on orbit next year to do our first observation inspection mission. Obviously, I can't go into all the details about it, but that's what our goal. What we then will do is take the technology, we will refine it, we will make it a little bit better, and then we will put it into the next Orbot, which is another Fred and more advanced versions of Lara. Then comes Charlie, then we have another one that we're working on called Bob. All of these technologies are iterative, and what we're doing is we're taking the exact same technology, the exact same artificial intelligence, we're taking that and putting it into a different form factor. That's it. We're using core systems and technologies, advancing them to another level and making them a little bit bigger, giving them more propulsion, more capability, and putting them to work. But the step one, by far, is definitely observation, inspection, and of course, close proximity operations. And that's what we're looking to accomplish next year.
Yeah, that's awesome. You said you can't tell much about it. How about, are you planning on visiting some actual space debris, or are you going to launch some test piece of article that you are going to inspect yourself?
No, what we decided is that yes, while it is good, there's there's a couple of different ways of going about these missions. You can launch a target with your system, and then you can perform your operation. But what we felt is we wanted to really test our systems. We wanted to make sure that we had as real of a scenario as what we possibly could. And putting out another target didn't really seem like would be the best test for us. So what we decided to do is identify a few targets. We're cooperating with the appropriate government agencies for the proper licensing, permission, things like that. And we are working with these agencies to make sure that it's okay that we approach the U.S.-owned debris, the U.S.-owned assets, and conduct our testing. Now, again, I can't go into a lot of specifics, but we're going to be looking, once everything is properly commissioned and the spacecraft is deemed safe and ready to go, once it's on orbit, we'll commission, and then we'll go and proceed to do our testing and really start stretching the system's legs. So we're going after real debris, real targets next year.
Awesome. I would say that's the right way to go.
We like to think that it is as well. We think it is.
How big a fleet will be on orbit? Will they be able to hibernate? Is there some kind of procedure for them to hibernate impacts on orbit, like a network, or
Yes. So there will be a constellation that ends up going up there. Now, we're still doing the market analysis and research to really determine where the most appropriate place to station our systems will be. But yeah, we will have some systems in LEO, and then we will also have stuff out in GEO. Now, GEO is really where our targets are. That's really where we're excited to get out because that is where the highest value systems are. That's where the most money is generated. Now, LEO is obviously incredibly crowded with space debris. And we will be here to provide those services in LEO. But our focus really is trying to get out to GEO. Now, as far as numbers are concerned, we are projecting our first sortie, our first swarm of systems will be out in GEO, I want to say mid-2023. That's what we're projecting right now.
And how many are in a swarm? Sorry.
Well, I don't know if I should call it a swarm, but there's going to be between 8 to 10 that we're putting out in 2023. So there will be one Fred and then 8. Yeah, that's right. One Fred and 8 Laras that are going to be out in GEO mid-2023. As far as LEO is concerned, frankly, we have not made decisions on that yet. We really need a little bit more market feedback before we're going to be able to determine how many Freds and how many how many Freds, how many Laras and Charlies are really going to be necessary in LEO. But right now, we have a pretty good idea of what needs to be out in GEO. And one of the cool things about what we're doing is that the Freds move. Fred moves Laras. So we take Fred and we bring Laras where they need to go. We drop them off. Lara goes and conducts their operation. Then they go back to Fred. And we pick them up. Okay. And then we take them to the next place.
So Fred's the spacetug.
Yeah, he's the tug. He's the transport. But he's also got 4 robotic arms on him. And he's got some pretty heavy robotics with a tool belt. And he's able to do some really amazing stuff. He's highly capable, electric propulsion, 6-axis control. You can re-roll his solar panels and redeploy them back, or you can pin them back. So it's there's 2-axis control on the solar panels, so you can kind of sweep them back. It's pretty cool looking stuff. I got to tell you, it's kind of Star Warsy, you know. So it's kind of neat to see some of this stuff.
Very excited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We're all really geeked up about it, you know. I mean, it's really hard not to nerd out whenever you're sitting in front of these whiteboards and you're literally talking about, you know, designing a spaceship, you know. You kind of feel like Benny in the Lego movie. Spaceship! You know? So
Visions of a 5-year-old me sat in a dishwasher box pretending to go to the moon.
Oh, look, you and me both. Like, I had a shopping cart that I put wings on, and, you know, we'd fly down the street on the sidewalk, and, oh, yeah, man. I mean, it's not really a job. You know, I don't know how anyone could really call this a job. I mean, you're designing spaceships. I mean, come on. I mean, you're playing with robots, you're designing spaceships. I mean, this isn't a job.
It's a bucket list item checked off. You design Star Wars style robots and send them to orbit. That's definitely a bucket list check off.
You know, I was talking to my wife night before last, and she and I were kind of talking about what was going on with Rogue, and I was kind of updating her on a couple of things. I'm a little busy, so it's kind of hard for us to get some time together. And I told her that I felt as though, and the way things are going, and because of all the exciting things that have been happening to us lately, it seems as though I've gotten my last job. So I thought that was kind of cool to think about the fact that I don't think I'm going to have another job. You know, I hate calling it a job, right? But I don't think I'm ever going to do. I think this is it. I think this is my last job. I hope it is. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we definitely hope Rogue Space will become successful in a few years.
Oh, me too, man. I wish it not for myself, but again for the community that we're building, because we have people that are just amazing people, and we've built this team up to over 30 people. We got over 30 people in Rogue, and a lot of them are earning equity, and they're working full time earning equity because they believe in what we're trying to do. And that is powerful. That is just a privilege to be a part of. It's just such an honor to have a group of people that just believe in our mission and believe in our values and our goals, to the point where they're literally giving up their time, their energy, and their intelligence, not so much giving up their intelligence, but applying their capability to our mission. And
I think I
want
can
it successful
resonate
for
with
them.
that.
Yeah.
Once again, we're in a similar boat at Total Space. We're not for profit. Everybody volunteers their time at Total Space, and I'm forever just in awe that people agreed to come on this crazy adventure forward with me, and it sort of almost resonates what you're saying there, how you've got this big team of passionate people working for equity because they believe in a greater cause.
It's a humbling experience. It really is, and I don't know how best to express my gratitude to every single one of them, because none of this is possible. And the only thing that I try to really convey to the team is that every single little thing that they do, it counts. It doesn't matter if it's just typing an email or sending a text message to somebody or doing that one last calculation or a simple entry inside of QuickBooks. It all counts. Every single little piece of effort counts into the culmination of like this amazing thing. And I couldn't be more excited about the journey that we're on and what's to come in the next couple of years.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we are coming up on about an hour, so I think we should wrap this up soon.
If you want to know more about Rogue Space, you can go to rogue.space, and you can learn all about us, what we're doing. If you're interested in investing, we're on truecrowd.com. That's TRUCROWD. It's a pretty small initial investment. Again, and if you want to reach out to us, info@rogue.space. Always happy to take questions. Your emails come to myself, our chief operations officer, a couple other people. But your email does get sent. We reply to every single one of them that we get, and we're always looking for good people to join our community and build this with us.
Fantastic. We will leave a link to all that below as well for anybody watching or listening. Oh, awfully warm in here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, Jeromy, and thanks for everyone watching. I've been Mikko, the host of Deep Dive.
I've been another space nut.
And if you would like to support us in what we do, head over to patreon.com/totalspace. You can also find us on Twitter and many other platforms. Links are in the description. Have a great day, everyone.